Let's look at some individual stocks, man. Some of you guys are getting so scared. Oh no, the market's gonna crash. Oh no. I'll go. Microsoft. We'll look at all of them, okay? First, if you've been paying attention at all to the lives that we've had, we said the Qs could possibly get lower, okay? I mean, we had a price target on this to 683, I believe. Um, but we've corrected over 8%. And I just want to bring this up. Like the last time we corrected that much, like right here was the Iran war from the all time high to, from the bottom, it was 12%, right? So, I mean, we've corrected quite a bit. Now, do I think we could go a bit lower? Maybe 10, maybe 10%. That'll put us in a correction. That put the SPY, 670, or yeah, 670. Um, but the main thing I was paying attention, and we have levels that need to hold. Like we need to get above 695, we need to get above 620, etc. But the main thing I want to pay attention to is this next level that we have at that 682 level. Okay, so somebody said, "Oh no, we got a bloodbath in the market. We're gonna go down." If you sell, if you sell right now, you're gonna end up being very, very sorry, in my opinion. Okay, and we've been calling this rally. Okay, we've been calling this rally. We told you this dip. We're going back to all time highs. We went back to all time highs. Told you the Qs was gonna get to 700. Went to 700. Now I'm telling you that I believe the Qs could get to 800. I believe the Qs could get to 800. And if you're selling, you're gonna be very sorry when the market finally does start taking off again. But I'm paying attention to this 683, 684 level on the Qs. If we start breaking below there, we'll have a different price target. But this was my original price target that I had. Now I'm not gonna say we bottomed, okay? Because I don't know. I don't know if we bottomed. But this is the main level that I'm paying attention to. And the reason being, but I will say, like we aren't quite, on the RSI where I would like. If you guys remember, we went live Sunday, and I said I would like this to actually hit and bull diverge. Okay, I would like this to hit and bull diverge, and it has just a little bit more for it to get there. It has just a little bit more for it to get there, but it's bull diverging crazy levels. Okay, crazy levels, and that's good. Okay, I'd rather the band-aid rip off very fast than us get chopped. I'd rather a volatile market. Okay, because where there's volatility, there's opportunity. And if you guys remember, the last time we had this hidden bull divergence was right here from here, right? We had it right happen right here and right here. This is hidden bull divergence, and then we got that move, that 40, $50 move on the Qs. Now we're getting heavy bull divergence, almost dated back to right here, which is crazy. Almost back from the Iran war. And another thing is that the fear and greed, like people are buying puts at an extreme level right now. Extreme level. Like this thing is spiking back up. This means a lot of people are getting back into puts. This is what you love to see if you are bullish, okay? Because we're almost in extreme fear. This is what you want to see in order for us to take that next leg to the upside. Okay, this is what we were seeing in the Iran war. We saw the spiking. Some of you got this was when we were all the way at one when the Iran war was at its peak around here. And some of you guys remember I was on here. This is where you want to buy, and I hope this continues to march up. Maybe point 0.9 would be just icing, just the icing on the cake, cherry on top. It'd be perfect. Right now we're at point 0.80, which is still pretty. It's still like that is pretty high considering we were just at point 0.58. Extreme euphoria has been happening all of May and April and the beginning of June. So those are a few things I'm paying attention to. I really want to make sure I'm looking at individual stocks more than anything because I know that there's great buying opportunities out there, and I know that the market is going to go back to all-time highs. But on the other side of this, okay, we're gonna start preparing for the end game because there is a recession after all this, like right? Like we know this. We're not dumb, but anyways, let's look at some individual stocks. Put in the comments of stocks you guys want to look at. We'll look at them. Yeesh, 800. Yes, I think the Qs can get to 800, maybe even more to be completely honest with you. Okay. Shopping like a shoe sale. Full port Oracle is crazy. Do you see SPY 700 for a bounce? Let's look at Tesla. We're gonna look at Tesla. SPY 700 before bounce. That would drag it really low in my opinion. But I'm not gonna say that's impossible. I think the S&P can get back to all-time highs in 800 as well. So maybe that would drag it out, and maybe that would give us a bunch of hidden bull divergence, etc. And make I'm not gonna say it's impossible. I'm just gonna say that that would put us that would give us a bigger correction than the real. No, it wouldn't. Let me see. Yeah, it almost give you a bigger correction than the Iran war. So I'm not gonna say it's impossible. Um, Anyways, move on. Somebody said RKLB, AAOI is wild. I like AAOI. I liked it when it was $80 when we were talking about it in the Discord. We made a whole bunch of money on that. Now, it's getting kind of to the later end. I don't want to look at Tesla because, like, if it doesn't bounce right here, this thing is gonna end up, going pretty low, probably to the 360s. And the reason I say that is because, you drop from the swing high to swing low. Like, this is where we should get a bounce on Tesla right here. We should get a bounce on Tesla, maybe maybe back above 400, but this is prime time bounce area for it. If it does not bounce here, you know, it should, But I think Tesla, like I said, I think the majority of the market is very bullish still, um, and I think this can get back to 500, maybe even 600 plus. Now I don't know what news is going to take it there. I know they have humanoids, etc. Maybe just the pure euphoria of the market takes it there, but I'm not going to be bearish on Tesla for an extended period of time, especially when I know what I just said. Okay, but anyways, you look at RKLB. I like RKLB, but I think it's a crowded trade, and the reason being is because in a market that is very bullish. First of all, like, I'm not gonna come in here and ever say like we're bearish. Okay, so we're gonna look at some TA, because we know the market's bullish. Okay, we know the market's bullish, and the same sort of thing is happening for RKLB, where it is in a bounce area. This is where it should bounce. This is the swing low to the swing high. If it does not bounce here, the next level would be all the way down to around $93. Okay, so I actually prefer it there just because I know that the space economy is not really even here yet. Okay, and we know that people are looking at the the betas of SpaceX. They're not looking at SpaceX because you do not want to buy SpaceX when it comes out. You want to wait for it to come down a little bit. You want to wait for a bear market. Okay, and people are looking at RKLB as a substitute, as a beta type of play. So I'd like it at 92. This thing has already went on quite a huge run, right? But it is in a bounce area. If it does not bounce here and it starts consolidating below it, it's going to 92. Somebody said STM. I'm so happy somebody said STM. STM is probably one of my favorites. If you want to get into the SpaceX IPO, you want to get into something like STM because this actually already makes the semiconductors they already do a bunch of business with SpaceX. And if SpaceX recurring revenue or recurring annual revenue is supposed to be 3 trillion, like that's what some people are saying. They're saying the revenue on SpaceX is going to be 3 trillion in 10 to 15 years. 3 trillion. Right now it's only like 22 billion dollars, somewhere around there, and it's IPOing at 1.75 trillion. If it has 100x, is SpaceX gonna be worth 300 trillion? I don't know, man. The market is gonna be so funny. But the one thing I do want to highlight for something like STM and why I'm bullish on setups that look like this is because this thing is breaking out of the .com high, and why, like, this is just another reason why I believe the market's going to continue to march to the upside, because we're not going to double top here. Okay, I'm going to show you another chart that looks exactly like this. So STM, the first price target that I have on STM is to 116, and then maybe even 187. Okay, so I like STM a whole lot. It's gone through a 20-year accumulation. It makes things for SpaceX. Okay, it makes things for SpaceX, and it's breaking out from its .com high. No reason to be bearish on something like this. The same sort of setup happened to INTC. So you guys remember INTC? Okay, and how we found those targets was we just drew the .com high to the low, okay, and we got that 1.618. And if you look at Intel hit the 1.618. So when I look at STEM or STM, right, and we want to look at price targets, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to draw the IPO or the 2000 high. and figure out that 1.618, and it tells me to 116. And I think INTC can start pushing even higher. Like I said, I believe the market is going to go. So the 2.618 is not that far away. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm paying attention to for STM. I think this is a good equity body to be completely honest with you. But again, me personally, I want to wait for some sort of bear market and some sort of bigger correction and recession like I believe we're gonna end up getting after the music turns off. Anyways, let's move on. Put in the comments what stocks you guys want to look at. We'll look at them. We'll look at them. Okay, we'll look at them. Somebody said Hood. Hood holding strong. I think Hood is ready for 200. Bitcoin held strong. Okay, there's things that held strong during this pullback. Bitcoin and crypto held very strong, and that tells me that, like I've been saying, like I think crypto is ready for a nice push. Okay, and oh my gosh, I'm just so excited because when we get these pullbacks, people get scared. People get scared, and we get more volatility, and we get a higher push to the upside. Okay, and if you didn't make money from the Iran low all the way up until the beginning of June, you were not following the right people, okay? If you didn't make anything, like you weren't following the right people, man. That was the easiest time. Buy the dip. That's all. Came on every day. Buy the dip. Let's look at APLD. But I really, really like Robinhood, okay? I've been saying that's going to get to 200. Nothing has changed for it. It's actually just looked more and more bullish. The weekly looks crazy. I like APLD. Robinhood. But if you look at APLD, I'm not, I'm not really seeing much. Um, yeah, I'm not really seeing much, to be completely honest. I'm not seeing anything. So I'm not gonna really look at it. But I mean, we could see price targets. I said this is gonna get to $50. I believe it went to $50. Yeah, 54. I think it has more legs to the upside. I mean, this is only a $11 billion market cap stock. If it could just get to 20 billion, which is very possible in the next leg, which I believe is loading pure euphoria. I mean, this could see $80. Okay. The only thing you don't want to do right now is get roach contracts. All right, that's the only thing you don't want to do right now is sit here and get a roach contract. And by roach contract, you come in here, you buy this week's calls or next week's calls. No, if you're bullish on APLD, which, like I said, I believe the market is gonna just get stupidly bullish, like we've been seeing. This is just a cool off period. We're gonna get stupidly bullish again. You want to make sure you buy time on something like APLD. Maybe the 45s in August. I don't know. Can you look at Hood? I have 40K in it at 76. Let's look at Robinhood, man. You guys want to look at Robinhood? We'll look at Robinhood because I like Robinhood. And a lot of people don't believe in Robinhood. But the thing you got to realize about Robinhood is the fact that when crypto starts actually pushing, Robinhood benefits from that. Okay? And all this needs to do is continue to hold above $81. Okay? $81. If it can continue to hold above $81, I think it's very good. Um, Now, levels that we really need to be paying attention to for the price target to 120, like I said, is 200, like I said, is 119, and then it can start pushing 207, even maybe 300. I like Robinhood, okay, but like I said, it needs to hold above 81. If not, this thing has been chopping for quite some time. It's been chopping for quite some time. It's just been sitting here. I mean, crypto's really just been sitting there as well. So, um, but yeah, I like it. There's just nothing to really look at on a smaller time frame. Okay, now we could come over here and do some price targets that clearly if you guys just look what I did, like the swing high to the swing low right here. I mean, the rejection is playing out to perfection. So obviously you need this to start getting above $93 to then start pushing 98 and 100 and 110. Okay, so above 93 you're going to get some larger price targets and that'll really kick it off. But like I said, I think in this euphoric market that a lot of people are not paying attention to, they don't know, like they're getting scared, they're selling stuff right now. People are selling stuff like they think we've topped. People are getting into mass puts right now. And you gotta have stuff like that. Okay, we have to have stuff like that in order for not everybody gonna make some money. I tell you guys this all the time. But if you look at if you guys remember Robinhood, back when tariffs was going off right here, we actually made a whole bunch of money, and we said the same thing we're saying now, right? We're saying the same thing we're saying now, which is this is gonna go, and the price target that we had on this was the 87, 123, and it hit every single price target all the way to 159. Okay, so now I believe a new leg is loading for Robinhood. You could tell by this hidden weekly bull divergence. I really like Robinhood, by the way. You could tell by this weekly hidden bull divergence from the low, and this made a low, and now you have another one forming from this low to this low. Okay, these things are making lower lows. This is hidden bull divergence. This is making a lower low. This is making a higher low. And now you can come over here and do some price targets. And yeah, all you have to do is not get some roach contracts or just own some equity, okay? Or wait for this to start breaking above 120, okay? 120, that's where the party starts. I really like this one. I really like this one. Like I said, I like crypto in general, though. I like crypto in general right here because I believe money's going to end up rotating into there. It needs above 93. Above 93, it'll hit 98. Then 110, and then above 120, it is go mode. Okay. So I gave you price targets. But anyways, Amazon 2X is a no-brainer. Do you think SpaceX will be a rug pull? I don't think it's gonna rug pull the same day. I don't think it's gonna rug pull the same day. I think it's actually gonna add a lot of hype to the market to begin. I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I think a lot of hype is gonna be in the market, and maybe it consolidates. But a dump would be crazy. We already looked at STM. We already looked at STM. But I don't want to be live for too long tonight. If you're not in the Discord, check out the link in the bio. Just go to the link in the bio. You're able to catch some good plays. We got SNDQ, Nvidia puts, shop, some great things. Look at Amazon. Look at Amazon. Microsoft. Microsoft got some interesting bids. Amazon's a no-brainer just because they own 20% of Anthropic, and Microsoft's actually coming into my buying area. Okay, some of you guys, oh my gosh, Microsoft's coming into the buying area that we knew was gonna hit. We knew this, but oh my goodness, say it ain't so. I think Microsoft right here makes a lot of sense. Okay. And some of you guys don't remember, we made a whole bunch of money on this leg right here, but Microsoft right here makes a whole lot of sense. I like it right here. Software, if you guys remember, software keeps getting bid in and out. It becomes hot one day, everything goes crazy, and then it cools down a little bit, and then it becomes hot again. This is when you can't be scared. Okay, you can't be scared. Like you want the party, you want the green days, etc. Sometimes you gotta buy on some red days. Okay, now Microsoft, I wouldn't get roach contracts just because it kind of moves weird sometimes or chops sometimes. But right here is definitely like this is the buying area for it. This is the buying area for it. Now let me see. Yeah, it's the buying area for it. I like Microsoft right here. If anything, I'd get like some monthly July 450s, and I think that's just the risk to reward on those just looks good. The risk to reward on it just looks good, but again, software isn't like a. I like it. I like it. I like it. So I think I love you so much. Appreciate it, bro. Um, Show me the fib again. Recap STM, please. Go to the YouTube. We're gonna post this on YouTube. Okay. But anyways, I appreciate you guys all for tuning in. If you want exactly what we're gonna end up getting to, you just go to the link in the bio. And I'm live every Sunday and Wednesday. You can check out if you missed anything on the YouTube. And let's make some money. Okay, that's the main reason why we're on here. It's just to make some money. Okay, it's just to make some money. Will we get a pump tomorrow? I think we actually could, just because I think we're gonna be in a consolidation area. But then again, maybe we just don't, man. We'll have to see. We'll be paying attention to when the market opens, etc. Um, Put call don't matter. We're gonna make some money. But anyways, I'll talk to you guys later. I'm out. Peace.